Welcome back, students. In this section, we'll try to understand how to calculate the mean median mode for open-end class frequency distributions. By the time we have understood what are the frequency distributions and we have seen the various methods of calculating mean median mode of that. In this section, we'll try to understand that what we should do, what kind of calculation we'll do to find out mean median mode for open-end classes. Now, what is the open-end classes? The definition of open-end classes is nothing but when the lower limit of the first class and the upper limit of the last class are unknown. Now let's take an example. Okay. Now think that marks and number of students. So let's say the frequency distribution is given like this: less than 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, and more than 50. The frequencies are like this: 4, 6, 10, 15, 8, and 7. Now if you consider this kind of frequency distribution, you can see that the lower limit and the upper limit of the first class and the last class is unknown, right? So what happens in this kind of cases, we call it that these are the open-ended classes. Now if you consider this is the frequency distribution which is given, the question is, can you calculate mean median mode for that? Now in this case we can conclude that the first class will be 0 to 10. Even if it is not given, we can write 0 to 10 because each and every class has the fixed frequency distribution or the class length. This is for 20 minus 10, 10, 30 minus 20, 10, 40 minus 30, 10, and 50 minus 40, 10. So I can also tell that this class will be 50 to 60 and this class will be 0 to 10. So in this case, we can easily calculate mean, median, and mode all. Mean, median, and mode. Okay. So let's say we can calculate this, and this all. Think that I'm naming this case number 1 for our understanding purpose. Case number. So case number 1, mean, median, mode is possible to calculate. Now think that case number 2. The similar example is given but in this manner. Case number 2, marks and let's say students. So in this case it is mentioned, let's say less than 10, then 10 to 30, 30 to 60, 60 to 100, and something more than 100. So if this is the frequency distribution and let's say randomly 4, 6, 10, 7, 3, these are the students name numbers. So I can easily say I in this case I need to find out the pattern of the class length, okay, or the class width. So in this case you can say that this is 30 minus 10, 20, this is 60 minus 30, 30, this is 100 minus 60, 40. So I can say this class width will be 10 and this class width will be 50. So in that case the correct will be 0 to 10 and 100 to 150. Hope you have understood of this. So what we have tried to understand, the sequence in between the class width of each and every class intervals. So in this case I can say, let's say case number 2, yes, I can calculate mean, I can calculate median, and also I can calculate mode. Now consider the class case 3. So think that this kind of frequency distribution is given. Let's say less than 10, 10 to 30, 30 to 35, 35 to 65, 65 to 85, 85 to 150, and something one more than 150. So if I try to find out the sequence in this case, it is very difficult to get any sequence because the class length out here we are not aware. This in this case it is 20, this is 15, this is 30, this is 20, and this is uh, 150 minus 85, so 65. So I can't see any pattern out this. Let's say 20, this is 15, 30, 20, and this is 50, 65. So I cannot find any pattern out of this. So in this kind of case, okay, if any frequency distribution is given, it is very difficult to find out what will be the lower limit of the first class and the upper limit of the last class. So question is still there, and that is the reason we cannot calculate for case number 3, we cannot calculate mean. But in this case we can see easily that median will be somewhere in the middle, right? Somehow. So median can be calculated, and in this case mode may be or may not be calculated based on the frequencies, right? Let's take an example. The mode frequency is given this one. Let's say I don't let's say these frequencies of the students are given like this. Let's say 10, 5, 7, 25, 20, 19, and 17 example. So in this case I can easily say this is the mode class, right? This is the mode class, and as per the formula I can easily calculate the mode. Clear? Because the mode formula in the sequence will be nothing but it will be depending on the D1 and the D2, the difference between the frequency of this mode class and the previous class, or the difference between the mode class and the next class and the class interval. But somehow the condition is the mode class will not be the first one or the last one. In that case it will be difficult for us to calculate, right? So generally mode class frequency is nothing but whenever we calculate, we start with L1 plus D1 divided by D1 plus D2 into C. So herein the main importance is to understand the C and the L1. So if the mode class is lying in the first and last, then it is impossible to calculate the mode in case number 3. But if mode class is lying in middle, it is clear that we can calculate the mode. So these are the three cases, main cases to understand, before we go ahead for the calculation of mean, median, mode for open end class frequency distributions. Hope you have understood clearly. See you in the next section.